You play real good, you start. You don't play as good, you work your way back in. It's the American way, except America has gotten soft. But that is the American way. That's the way it works. And so I apologize to nobody.
Good for Tom Izzo. Good on Tom Izzo for not apologizing for being a head coach. Unfortunately, I think Tom Izzo is the last of a dying breed. The NIL system in college sports, along with the fact that damn near every parent thinks their golden child is the next face of the NBA, it's made it increasingly difficult for head coaches to actually coach their players. I think it's the main reason that Nick Saban retired. Anytime a coach yells at a player, the mainstream media criticizes him. Why is Rick Pitino being such a meanie? Tom Izzo needs to calm down. It's just a game. How come he doesn't comfort his players and cater to their feelings? Who gives a damn about their feelings? The parents, they're not helping either. I remember last year, I was at one of my nephew's baseball games. Now, these are 5-year-olds. If you've never been to a baseball game featuring 5-star athletes from kindergarten, I promise you, it ain't real baseball. The only thing getting picked off is boogers or dingleberries. I'm sitting there in the stands, and this lunatic mother is complaining because the coach benched her son. He needs reps. He needs real game reps to get better. Lady, your kid was just giving himself a wedgie in the outfield. He doesn't need reps. He needs a new set of underwear. Look, unlike the jock sniffers in the mainstream media, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what goes on in locker rooms. But to me, a coach yelling at a player is a good thing. I would be more concerned if the coach stopped yelling at a particular player, because once he stops yelling, to me, that means the coach has given up on that player. I have watched The Last Dance, the documentary about the great one, the documentary about the real GOAT, the only GOAT, Michael Jordan. I have watched that documentary countless times over the years. Before Phil Jackson took over in Chicago, Doug Collins was coaching the Bulls. At one point, the jock sniffers in the media, they were making a big deal about an argument that Doug Collins and Michael Jordan got into at practice. Now, to player and coach, the argument was no big deal. To the media, Doug Collins was being an asshole. Doug Collins said in the documentary, the greatest compliment that you can give a great player is to coach him hard. Michael Jordan understood that. Unfortunately, seems like a lot of these players in Gen Z LGBT, they are struggling to understand that concept. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the main channels in the description below. Yesterday, Charles Barkley and the crew on CBS were talking about Tom Izzo. Now, I know the legendary Ernie Johnson requested to decrease his role a bit during March Madness. And look, I like Clark Kellogg, but the unknown lady who I assume used to play or maybe even still plays in the WNBA dump, along with Nate Burleson hosting the show, this ain't it. I saw some people yesterday praising CBS for this diversity panel, but I'm watching this panel yesterday afternoon and I did not see a damn hint of diversity. However, with Charles Barkley on the show, you can guarantee that it is going to be entertaining. Yesterday, Charles Barkley, he was talking about Tom Izzo, and he unloaded on soft players and the dorks who sniff their jocks in the mainstream media. Watch it for yourself.
He's one of the few coaches who can still yell at his players.
Yeah.
We got these babies out here now, and they batty parents.
And his players sometimes yell back at him too, which is pretty good.
Because
shows the relationship.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it's an emotional game. The media, who don't know anything about sports, because they never played,
Right.
say like, why is he yelling at his players? That's called coaching.
And he cares.
He cares. I love the fact that he never backs down.
Yeah.
Your job as a coach is to coach your players. If their parents and their friends get mad because you getting yelled at, you get better parents and better friends.
Charles Barkley is right. If your parents have a problem with Tom Izzo, if your loser friends have a problem with Tom Izzo, you need to get new friends and you need to tell your parents to mind their business. Last I checked, Tom Izzo is one of the most successful coaches in the history of college basketball. 28 consecutive appearances in March Madness, 8 appearances in the Final Four, won a national championship in 2000, 6 Big Ten titles. He's won the conference 11 times during the regular season. Tom Izzo has developed 23 players who were drafted and played in the NBA. 12 of those players drafted in the first round. Draymond Green, Zach Randolph, Jaren Jackson Jr., all coached and developed by Tom Izzo. His resume speaks for itself. Tom Izzo knows what the hell he's doing. You know who doesn't know a damn thing about coaching college basketball and developing potential NBA players? Uncle KC. But unlike the mainstream media, I'm willing to actually admit it. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.